But if I was to say one thing, the science is only part of the learning experience, because I think I learned more about medicine after I qualified as a doctor than I did at that whole time in university, because you only really learn about medicine once you start to work with people. And that's what I call the art of medicine, because the art and the science are equally important. And when I say the art, I mean it's the ability to be able to just develop a relationship with people, to connect with people, to be able to learn what their life is like, to talk to them in a way that allows them to open up to you, to be trustworthy. And all these things are absolutely critical in any of the caring roles, whether you're a doctor or a nurse or a physiotherapist or any of these wonderful roles that we have across the NHS. It's that ability to be able to connect and talk to people, which I think marks out these caring professions as something which feels very, very different. And I loved that relationship-based medicine that I was able to provide when I was a GP. And I was a GP in a fairly deprived area for about 15 years before I began to become a little bit restless and a little bit frustrated at some of the things that I saw in the system, and wanted to make changes to try to develop care in the way that I wanted to. So I started to do more and more leadership jobs. I started to kind of become interested in how to improve quality within the system. I became a medical director, and then I started to work for the Scottish Government as an advisor, then Deputy Chief Medical Officer, ultimately, as I say, becoming Chief Medical Officer. And each time you make one of these transitions, you find that you're able to just make change happen just on a slightly bigger basis, to be able to impact the lives of more and more people. I used to sit in a surgery with one person or their family in front of me and feel as though you can make a difference for one person's life. But as you started to do these other roles, you started to realise that you could make change at a population level that impacted not just, one person, but actually whole groups of people in a much better way. And I think that that was something for me which became incredibly interesting. So this has been a really fascinating career for me, that I've learned a lot of things along the way. There's been tough moments, there's been incredibly good moments, but the journey to get to this point has, I think, equipped me in a way that I feel much, much more rounded in understanding actually what makes people tick and how we can help them best and address some of these huge challenges that we have in health across this country.